Green interwebs, it's Jacket K. It's 80 degrees Fahrenheit. I spent probably an hour, if not two, just sitting in the basement, trying to regain my sanity, because the heat from the little walk I did made me completely lose it. Wasn't even going to record today, but screw it. I have nothing left to edit for Pokémon XG, and I want my break for June to only be 2 weeks, not the entire month. So, let's do this. How about we check up on the lady first? Okay, I gotta explain some things. While I was doing stuff off screen, Munchlax was frickin' blocking the stairway. It was before I saved before it. So like, screw it, I'll just hold on to this until I'm ready to record, and I'll make an entire bit out of it. The frickin' 80 degree thing isn't part of the bit, I just figured it would complement it, like a little bit of sprinkles on top. But no, you silly little munchkin. Little goblin. There's probably an maybe, am I thinking the munchkin? Is that the word I'm thinking of? Point being, you ruined the bit. I was gonna... And now I have no idea what to do now that my joke has been completely ruined. This is kind of going to be a montage episode anyways, as I do just miscellaneous things before engaging the final stretch of Dark Isle, so how about we cut to some of that? Well, I'm not sure why I'm surprised with how much mindless wandering I was doing. It was going to happen eventually. Oh! Didn't know that I could play right as I was going down the elevator. You learn something new every day, I suppose. Let's see where he is. Pirate Town. Oh, I was kind of pondering how I would do grinding. Or I was kind of pondering how I get a little more money, even though I've done all the Coliseums already. So I guess it's not a total waste. I guess we'll go take care of that now. Actually, I've stocked up on items, but I don't think I've had an opportunity to stock up on Pokeballs. Let's see what I can put together real quick. Actually, maybe I did a little bit of stocking, just not of the fancy balls. I don't know what else I would want in an electric ball besides the Flygon, but apparently I use them if I have them. Now, at least I have something to catch Mirror Beast Pokemon with. Now it's just a matter of if I'll be able to save space on my computer by... there. Now it's just a matter of how much of the Coliseum I'm going to have to cut out before I actually run into him. What am I even trying to say? It'd be awfully convenient if he showed up right away, so I could just end off the recording and save a bunch of space on my computer, because I'm not sure if it's worth starting up a recording, or should I say stopping a recording and starting up a recording until I get to Mirror B. Speak of the Disco Master, and he'll appear. Pardon the fact that I can't pronounce anything, I'm gonna blame the fact that it's almost 10 o'clock, and I'm not sure if you remember the last time I recorded after 9 o'clock, but it wasn't pretty. I don't think we're gonna get into too deep of sad political talk, though. I got all that out of my system earlier today. Big question, how am I gonna whittle away the Golem? Let's see what happens. There's no way a Brave Bird could actually knock it out. It's part resisted. The problem is I kinda had a feeling it'd do that much damage. It would be worth the effort. Actually, with Mirror B's team so weak, maybe I should just get rid of everyone else first. Oof. It's okay, Talon Swift. You'll get a chance to get your experience from all the other battles of level 25 Pokemon that I'll inevitably have to do off screen. And I want to go for Drain Punch, but I'm just so worried about everything being overkill. Rock is surprisingly hard to find neutral matchups for. Most things either resist or are superly effective against the rock ground types. There's not much middle ground. Hopefully this will do the trick. I do got a Dark Pulse. It's neutral, but Golem isn't exactly the most known for its tankiness of the special attacks. It's not like this Pokemon's really giving me that much to work with though. I kinda see why we're re-snagging it. I almost want to just go for a Heat Wave. It definitely will do less damage than the Dark Pulse. And here goes nothing. Whew. It didn't knock it out, but that was still way more damage than I was expecting a neutral move to do. Yeah, you see how little experience everyone is getting Talon Swift? You're not missing out on that much. Man. What is with this freaking Golem? So, do I got any bad Pokeballs to waste? Well, I have literal Pokeballs, but that might be a little underkill, overkill. I don't want to use a good I want to waste a bad Pokeball, but I don't want to use one that bad. I should have brought some Great Balls just as a backup. Actually, if I try to bring Funland back in, it's just gonna Shadow Throw again. But how else am I gonna put it to sleep and make this thing catch a ball without wasting all my resources? Well, let's see if we can catch a Golem in a Pokeball. If there's any of these late game Shadow Pokemons I could catch in a Pokeball, it'd be this one. Let's see, 2 Shakes. You know what? Let me see if I can get this thing asleep and give that a try again. Cause this could be crazy enough to work. I'd much rather use a Pokeball in an environment like this, where everything else is level 25, than in any other battle in Dark Isles. Too bad we're just gonna have to watch the animation of Golem switching for my entire party and the rain for all this time. I didn't even stock up on... I stocked up on items, but only good healing items. You know what the heck? I'm gonna get a decent amount of money from this Coliseum because I got the Amulet Coin equipped. Why be stingy? I say as I'm gonna try to catch this freaking Golem with a Pokeball. Who's coming out this time? Goodbye, Ellie. And hello, Funland! What perfect timing! Yeah, come on out, Skip Bloom. It's almost like you wanna be in a freaking Pokeball. Make you go Betty Bye, and let's try this again. I got 2 Shakes without putting it to sleep. This Golem in a Pokeball dream may not just be a meme. Alright, let's see how this goes. I got 8 Pokeballs. So, I don't know if I'm gonna go for all 8, but I might as well at least try a couple. 1, 2... Man, you'd think you'd get a little more out of it while it's actually asleep. Well, still 5 Pokeballs left in this inventory, and there's no way I'm actually using them instead of Dark Isles. And if I could actually false swipe it down to red health, this crazy plan may actually work. 1, 2, 3? Wow! We got it. I mean, I kind of brute forced it, so it was inevitable, but still. And we even still have enough Pokeballs to try the same stupid thing against the other Shadow Pokemon that I'm fairly sure, but not 100% sure, actually exists. Alright. I showed off everything in Pirate Coliseum. Alright, see you for whatever segment's coming next, because whatever episode this is gonna be all over the place. I can tell already. I don't know why. I have a itching to rematch Willie. Let's see if he got any better. I guess it's a lot of it's because I went for all the trouble of setting up this recording session just to do some purification. This is new. As I was saying, it felt like a waste of the time spent setting up a recording session to just do some purification and one minor battle against Mirror B. So I wanted to do something. I wasn't expecting to actually get something to talk about from all this though. Who's getting busted? You're getting busted. Actually, I don't even know why I bothered switching. I just sold the giant Umbreon and Jolteon. Assumed that I was under threat, and only after the fact realized that they were only level 36. So I guess I pondered if there's anything to talk about to kill the time or anything. It is kind of late. Oh, I didn't realize Rock Slide was going to do that much. I wouldn't bother of trying to put any sort of strategy into this and just Earthquake and Wide Guard everyone. Well, Umbreon, I can already sense that this was changed to be an evolution team. So Umbreon's going to be the most bulky thing he has. And I should just be able to Earthquake everything away just fine. I don't know, the only other thing I think I would want to do before I go to bed is rematch Chopin. But I've already rematched Robo-Groudon. What could be possibly different about rematching him a third time with the Robo-Groudon? I'm kind of pondering about setting up Pokespots again. There's that whole thing with Raikou that I never quite figured out. Well, that's a half lie. I think I accidentally spoiled myself in that. I think I saw. All I really know is recall seeing a random YouTube thumbnail of Raikou just hanging out at the Shadow Pokemon base. No, not that Shadow Pokemon base. The one where Ape Man normally shows up. It's 10 PM. I normally sleep around 11. Sometimes I stay up to midnight on the weekends like this, but this will probably not be one of those nights at this rate. Oh my god. Flareon looks so weird right now. It looks like his eyes are 5 miles apart in that profile pic. Then again, it might just because I'm tired and I'm just delusionaling Flareon's eyes. And why am I getting deja vu? Did I talk about Flareon's eye in the profiles before? I definitely talked about a Pokemon looking weird in his profile picture. I don't think I'm thinking of Flareon for that scenario. But I think I get weird deja vu looking at Flareon. You know what it is? It's the center. It's his forehead in between the eyes. It's so indented, it almost looks like an eye, like he has a single eye, and the two actual eyes are like parts of the head or something? I don't know. I think I'm tired enough that I'm channeling my subconscious. I don't know what. The subconscious is a weird beast. You don't really know what's going on. I didn't even pay any attention to how much money I got from that fight. I guess if I really want to kill time, I could purify some more Shadow Pokemon. Because, like, gonna purify everything eventually, and there's some that just barely made it into the intermission video that intermission clip that I've already uploaded in the previous part. So you know what? Sure, while I'm feeling up to recording it, let's purify a couple more Shadow Pokemon. Unfortunately, it will only be a couple, but maybe that's for the fortunate. This is not going to be enough footage in of itself for a full episode anyway, so probably by the time I record everything else that's going to be in this part, the other Shadow Pokemon will be ready to be purified. Just give me one sec. That's 3 off the bat already, and actually if I just run around in a circle for a little bit, and hopefully nothing else comes up like a Mirror B icon or something, I'll have 4. Why not just get that taken care of now? There we go, that was actually significantly longer than I thought it would be. But now, we can get 4 Shadow Pokemon done in this little mini recording session instead of 3. So, let's see what Metagross has in store. Technically not possible, but close enough that I'll allow it. I noticed that this mod really likes Disable. I mean, Disable's been buffed to actually be interesting and viable, but I'm still kind of baffled of how many Pokemon have Disable. I think what it is that every Pokemon that knows Shadow Analyze is Shadow Pokemon. It's just given Disabled once it purifies, because it's just like the same move, but better. You know, kind of curious what's in store of the Scizor. This was one of the things that were so close to making it into the previous purification session, but it was just a little shy of that bar. Bug Bite, fair, but odd. Like, you think this would be the thing to get first impression out of all moves. I mean, I was gonna say it already has Bullet Punch. So... Okay, just randomly give it fighting type moves. Sure, I guess. Wait, I gotta double check Dual Chop. Because that might actually be a Dragon move. I'm just familiar enough with Modern Gen that I recall there being a weird move like that. Alright. What's in store for Natu? Not to you, knowledge, but I'm sure there's something interesting. Sorry. I saw the pun there in my head, but I did not have the mental capability to actually turn it into something funny. Feather Dance makes sense. Flamethrower makes less sense. Who knows? It might be a move that it just normally learns by TM, but that does not sound like a move that Axu should learn. Why was he going to Noctu to Axu? Ah well. Same family. Alrighty, let's see what sort of shenanigans they managed to stuff into this Blissey. How much money you want to bet that Toxic is in the pool? I actually don't want to bet money on that. But I assume that's like a normal bet that someone would make. Feel like there's going to be something much more zany. Moonblast. Kinda get it, but still. Sorry, I need a minute there. I kinda see what's going on here though. Blissey's very defensive but not very offensive. Calm Mind kind of cancels that out. Hold on, I might need another minute. If it's a wall, give it foul play. How else is it gonna attack? Alright, there's still one more move. And Wish, of course. Not as crazy as I thought it would be, but it's definitely got something going. Alright, yeah, I shouldn't be recording this late. Both because I'm tired and because it's during the show that... for other reasons. Alright, so I'll see y'all later. Maybe it'll be the end of the part. I'll worry about the outro later if that's the case though. I am a little curious if anything happens or changes in the Krabby Club now that like its major Patreon has been cancelled. So I'll cut away to if I find anything interesting. Oh yeah, I skipped over the entire Magician character arc where they started out here, went on TV, and the old couple just played with their Krabbies, and then came back. Maybe we'll find out why that is as I explore around a bit more. Oh, the mooches that hang out in the Krabby Club are in an uproar, saying Mr. Verdict hasn't been around lately. Where did they come from? Where did they go? Mystifying bunch. Oh, would you believe me when I tell you I have stories of that? And maybe it's for the best not to cause mass hysteria. Sure, we've been on TV, but that doesn't mean we've forgotten the Krabby Club. We should never forget our roots. I'll have to see how it sounds in post, but since I'm not really doing a major episode today, I'm gonna just leave the windows open. As I said in the intro, it's 80 degrees. And not all of this is being recorded today, but this part certainly is. I'd like to not lose my sanity. Oh, there's the chest I should have gotten much sooner than I actually did. Don't you love it when a mod puts real valuable TMs in places that you would normally not bother to look? It's good. It has its perks and its qualms, so I can't really complain or compliment it. Oh yeah, you're the happiness guy. Aww. I think it's kind of ironic that Talon Swift ended up being the one to be appraised. It's good to know that even through all the rough times we had, that may or may not include several dozen knockouts, that we're still the best of buds. On the tangent of being better buddies, maybe I should heal my Pokemon. Oh my god, an NPC actually tells them. Yeah, I saw the news. Somehow washing up in the desert. Alright, always has its roots in more city-orientation. And you know, when you think about it, these sailors have been on dry land this entire time. Oh, I completely forgot about the zoom. When the shipping traffic's down this much, there's not much selling. When the shipping traffic is down this much, there's not much we sailing men can do except sit around and mope. Ain't that right, matey? I say so, matey. With everyone scared witless of going out to sea, there's some guy leaving port on some super luxurious cruiser. That's a surprise, matey. Oh, this is the same dialogue, isn't it? I'd say so, matey. We're just repeating dialogue, aren't we, matey? I say so, matey. When someone's talking to you, you should be paying attention. Isn't that right, matey? I'd say so, matey. I've seen this several dozen times. I feel like I've showed it early on in the playthrough, but it's good stuff. Better safe than sorry. And I'm trying to figure out what to actually... Oh yeah. I guess I'll leave this in just to show that, yes, I actually am healing my Pokemon, but I've been trying to figure out what to do with my battle points, because I've definitely already bought all the battle items that I need, but I know I'm going to do at least 2 more sessions of Mount Battle before progressing to the end, so all those battle points are just going to waste. I was trying to find some way to sell them, or make my money back in exchange, because, like, grinding on Mount Battle is great and all, but comes to the caveat that you get battle points instead of money. And I really find myself wishing for money more, so I'm just checking to see. I did some searching about OP, and I think, like, if I were to spend it on the ability capsules and resell them there is my best bang for buck. But it doesn't seem like that good of bang for buck. I guess if I'm really hurting, I can sell my rare candies, but I definitely could just use those on the Pokemon. And like now I'm at a point of like, I'm gonna do more Mount Battle anyways, and I'm gonna do Mount Battle until my team's at level 60 anyways, and I don't want them to get over-leveled, so now I don't want to save my rare candies for the very end, because that's how you get the most bang for your buck. But now that we're at the very end, I don't want to sell my rare candies because I don't want to be too OP. And will people make fun of me for using a rare candy on a Swallow? These are just thoughts bouncing through my head. I skipped over this before because there's no way there's anything new, but I just really want to make sure. I feel like I have not been hanging out with Chopin as much as usual this playthrough. And I feel like they shoved so many Easter eggs, so many little minor changes to Chopin's dialogue throughout the course of the adventure that if you're just playing normally and not checking up on this place a lot, it's so easy to actually miss out on something. That being said, I also don't know if it'd really be worth showing you fighting Robo-Groudon again, so... Oof. I can't recall if that's higher level than before. It feels like it, but I think I'm still gonna cut this out anyways. If something cool happens, I'll be sure to let you all know. Robotics? What the heck is robotics? I mean, yes, it's a custom ability. I don't know what's more crazy, the fact that I didn't think of trying Spore any other attempt against Robo-Groudon, or the fact that it has an ability that seems tailor-made specifically to stop me from putting it to sleep. You know, in hindsight, as much as I wanted to make sure I didn't die to Heat Wave, it just occurred to me that I could have just done Wide Guard, and that would have blocked both the Heat Wave damage and my Earthquake damage. I just was thinking, I just got too caught up in the fact of, oh, I can do the super effective damage with Drain Punch. That's why you gotta keep your eyes open to all your options, I suppose. And sometimes, even though you want your Pokemon to be well on HP to avoid deadly consequences, sometimes the risk is worth it. There we go, that's much better. And that I probably wasted that Hyper Potion on nothing. We'll get the money back somehow. It only needs like 2 ability capsules to make back the money that the Hyper Potion costs, I think. I don't even know if it's worth it, but I mean, 10,000 bucks, I was just worried, talking about how, I wouldn't say complain, but I was worried about running out of money. This seems like a safe way to grind it, if I'm actually at that point. Chopin loses, even after adding an air conditioner for the ultimate atmosphere comfort. Who knows if that's actually new dialogue or not? I wouldn't dare risk missing out on it though. Speaking of dialogue that we've seen, but I'm not gonna risk. What's up with Dr. Kamiko's inventions today? Power Drain Light Bulb, that doesn't sound familiar. At first glance, it's an ordinary sort of a plain light bulb, but it positively gulps electricity at 10 times the usual rate. Use this and electricity bills will grow shockingly, and it won't be easy to find out why. Chopin thinks it's dazzling. One more. Dr. Kamiko's inventions are number 1. Chopin's choice this time is, ta-da! The super-powered jet vacuum cleaner. When it sucks up, it blows out the rear using a powerful jet propulsion that shreds dust into fine particles. The more you vacuum, the more your room gets covered in an invisible coat of dust from corner to corner. Chopin thinks it's splendorous. You know what? We just got done being told that we had a good bond with our Swallow. And then I had to give it a backhanded compliment of if a Swallow is worth a rare candy. I feel especially bad for Talon Swift because they fainted immediately after that battle. I just feel like I really owe Talon Swift something, especially it's gotten us through so much. Here, have a rare candy on the house. You probably just get that experience back in Mount Battle, but consider that a gift. If nothing else, then an apology from me to you. It's probably the only way I'm gonna actually convince myself to use these rare candies anyways. Well, here's some more. Chopin is willing to accept every challenge for our battle. Chopin and Robo-Groudon. So much for wanting to squeeze every little bit of Chopin's dialogue as I can out of this playthrough. Kinda scrolled through that relatively quickly. Almost like the idea of actually adding some post comments, the idea that came up in the hindsight. Anyways, just want to throw it out there that, yeah, like I suspected, Wyguard is broken and kind of just cheeses out this entire Robo Groudon fight. So 10,000-ish with an amulet coin is not bad money for one battle when you can get by it as quickly, so not that I want to screw out Chopin out of money since he can't even afford modifications, but still, every little bit counts. And you know what? While we're here, well, I'm just roaming around anyways. Before I take out Mount Battle, let's do a few more purifications. I'll even close the window just to ensure that no background noise gets in the way. Give me one sec. By the way, I just realized just how the idle music for the purification chamber goes way harder than it needs to. If you never played Pokemon XD before, it's worth looking into. Well, I assume if you haven't played Pokemon XD at this point, then the reason you haven't is because the game's so expensive to pick up. But if you have the means to pick up the game, even if you're not playing XG and just playing the original XD for whatever reason, give the purification music a listen. You've heard the theme before when we're actually in the PC messing around with things. But even just like, if you sit on the purification chamber before you start purifying Pokemon, man, that song's a bop. Like, it sounds innocent enough, but then you give it like 5 seconds. Dang. It's been a long time since I've actually listened to it this long. I forgot about all the record scratches and other side noises that happened along the way. They did not need to go this hard for a song that 90% of the people who even bother to play this game will never hear. Anyways, let's see what we got. I didn't have anything to say about Golem. It's cool, but it's your typical defensive Pokemon, get shell smashed and make it a sweeper. I wasn't too shocked, but it is neat. Like, it's a good excuse to use a Golem. But shell smash has been used so much in this mod, it's kind of become predictable. Hydro Pump and Nasty Plot. Okay, this Kendra's cooking. That was something I didn't see coming. Alright, let's see what's next. I did see that a legendary Pokemon was in the list of Pokemon that were ready to be purified. I think it was Articuno. That'll be fascinating. It'll be our first legendary Pokemon purified. Wait, do I want to purify it? Or do I want to save it for the final stretch of Dark Isle so we can actually use other Shadow Pokemon? I'm probably messing around with Mount Battle and that so much that I won't have any Shadow Pokemon left to use by the time I'm ready to resume the plot. Especially if I have these long breaks in between recording sessions. I did see it got tail glow. Technically inaccurate because it's not as tail's glowing, but it does have a tail and does have an appendage that glows. So we'll let it slide. Wouldn't be the first time XD stretched the truth. Can I quit? Nah, man. I think we're committed. I'm pressing every button. I can't stop what's about to happen. And I don't know if I haven't reset it since starting up this little recording session. And I don't know if I want to go for all of that again. I don't think it's worth it for Shadow Articuno. Ah well. At least we get to see what Purified Articuno's all about. And we do have that held item that kind of like gives our Pokemon defensive properties of a Shadow Pokemon. Sort of. It'll work out. Icy Wind. Skill swap. Ooh, what's this Articuno cooking? Because why would you lower the full speed and then do skill swap? Hail is not bad, but I mean at this point, the mod introduces all the Gen 5 abilities, so why not? So I guess so it can keep Snow Cloak. But there's not really too much point in having Hail when you can just have a Pokemon with an ability and send it out. That's kind of like the problem with weather moves and terrain moves. Like, even someone out slightly more on the casual side like me doesn't really find it cost effective to waste a turn using a move when you can just have an ability do it instead. Or at the very least have the move that sets up the weather do something else. So weather setting isn't, so you get something out of it besides just when you could just swap to a different Pokemon that instantly gives it to you. Oh, I didn't even realize that we were purifying with Flygon. That's fine, it's probably for the best. Did I even use it in a battle? Maybe I will reset, because all I did was show off stuff. I didn't really get anything besides 10,000 G from Chobin. We'll see how I feel. Things are already kind of getting hot, so I want to wrap up this recording anyways, so I can run some fans. Oh man, I didn't even see that he had that move. I gotta Google what Dragon Hammer does, because 90 power for 100 accuracy. This move sounds like something that has a secondary effect, but they weren't able to fit it into the item. So apparently my mic died out. That's fine. All you missed was me Googling what the heck Dragon Hammer was, and being bewildered about it for like the next 5 minutes, so I'll just summarize here. Dragon Hammer is a little executor signature move, and it's one of the few signature moves that somehow doesn't end up on like every other Pokemon. So that explains why I'm a little less familiar with it. Even though, like, I've stopped caring about Pokemon to the degree I used to around the beginning of Sword and Shield. But the fact that it was only on a little executor, and I haven't had a chance to use one outside of PvP and Pokemon Go, would explain why it didn't really immediately set to me what the move was. It really did sound like it had a secondary effect with that description, but nope, it's just a 90 power move that's 100% accurate. And I guess the modder gave it to that because there's not too many dragon options that have a good blend between power and accuracy. You either got like extreme stuff like Outrage, or really weak stuff like Dragon Claw. So I get mechanically why it's this thing, but I don't, function wise, like, I don't see enough of a hammer with Flygon to really make sense, and I'm probably gonna just reset because I might get a little more use out of it as a Shadow Pokemon. Anyways, I feel bad. I went through all the trouble of catching Flygon. And I never got a chance to use it. And I like Ellie too much to replace it, even though Flygon's one of my favorite Pokemon from the 3rd generation. The problem is, I like Flygon so much that I pretty much use it every opportunity that I get. Meanwhile, Donphan, this is probably the first time it's gotten this much time in the spotlight, so no, as tempting as it is, I'm not dumping Donphan for Flygon. So I think the only way I could get some time in the spotlight is if I keep it as a Shadow Pokemon and use it for a few battles. At least I didn't really do much value besides show off dialogue and battle Chobin, which, now that I know the Guard strats, battling Chobin will be easy, and it's probably the easiest way to grind money if I need it. That does make me feel a lot better about going into Mount Battle. Okay. It is hot out, so I'm gonna wrap things up here. at least give myself a little time to cool off before recording anymore. Thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Pokemon XG Next Gen. Next time we meet, I think this is going to go up before Mount Battle, so let's try out one more area of Mount Battle. That should be enough to get everyone to level 60. If not, maybe I'll actually use the rare candies that I've been hoarding this entire game. Until then though, take care. I knew it! I knew it! I knew I wasn't crazy! You're frickin' blocking the way again. Why didn't you do this when I was actually recording the intro the first time? Now I actually have the fan running in the background, and the audio quality is going to be terrible for this short. The joke is ruined on every front. People are going to be complaining about my audio settings and my audio quality. Curse you much less.